This is the gold train, currently hidden somewhere in the hills of the city of WWII in Poland. This train contains gold worth billions of dollars, priceless paintings, and thousands of years old ancient artifacts, all of which together make this train the most valuable train in the world. Through these radar images, proof of its existence underground was found in the year 2015. But still, the Polish government is afraid to take this train out of the ground. But why? Apart from this, why was this priceless train hidden in these mountains? In today's video, we are going to know its complete history. So hello guys, I am Reaction Boy, and let's start another new episode. Year 2015, WWII, a quiet town in Poland. There was a dense forest all around, and in the middle of it was an old rusted railway track that had not been touched by anyone for years. Now, near these desolate strips, two treasure hunters, P.O. Koper and Andreas Richter, make an announcement that spreads like a tsunami across Europe. He said that he had found the Nazi gold train. His claim was simple. He had seen images from ground-penetrating radar, GPR, that showed a metal structure about 100 meters long underground. Exactly the same spot where for decades it was rumored that a mysterious train loaded with gold was hidden beneath a mountain during the final days of World War II. Now look, these rumors were not new. Local stories told by older generations always told of a train filled with gold, weapons, rare art waxes, and perhaps even lost treasures like the Eber Room, buried somewhere beneath the forests of WWII. But for the first time, someone had scientific evidence of this. Piotr and Andres demanded a formal 10% stake from the Polish government in exchange for excavation. The government gave him permission, and the story spread like wildfire in the national media. Everyone had the same question in their mind: has a train full of Nazi gold been found? It is said that this train was going from Wrocław to WWII in the year 1945. But as soon as the Red Army entered Germany, it was erased from all official records. Some people say that the German government was afraid that if this train fell into the hands of Soviet or American forces, they would capture it. Therefore, it was deliberately taken to the caves of a mountain, and the entrance was sealed. When news spread in 2015 that the train was buried beneath the WWII hills, Polish Deputy Culture Minister Piotr Jusko himself described the GPS images as highly convincing. After this, the government immediately came into action. Polish military mine clearance experts and geological survey teams were sent into the forest. The media, tourists, and conspiracy theorists all began to flock to WWII. Now, safety was the priority before excavation. If it was indeed a Nazi train, it might also have contained traps, unexploded bombs, or dangerous military equipment. The ground was scanned meter by meter. Layers of radar scans were created. It felt as if some old buried truth was now coming out to breathe. Now, during the Nazi era, the German army tried to hide many such trains filled with gold and rare artifacts in different parts of Europe. Official documents of Reich's Bank say that the Nazis had forcibly snatched jewelry, cash, religious objects, and rare art from lakhs of people. In the year 1945, a train named the Hungarian Gold Train was captured by the US Army in Austria. It had 24 coaches filled up. Gold coins, paintings, Persian carpets, Torah scrolls, and expensive watches were all stolen from Jewish families in Budapest. This was a documented case, but there was no official record of the train carrying the WWII treasure. There was no number, no manifest, no file. It was a phantom train that was lost in the cracks of history. And perhaps that is why it became even more mysterious. During the Second World War, Hitler's plan was that if he won the war, he would build a grand art gallery. To fulfill this dream, he ordered his army to bring back the rarest sculptures and paintings from whatever country or city they captured. So when American troops arrived at Bacchusgaron in 1945, they found a train completely loaded with looted art and sculptures. But even today, there are some invaluable paintings and artifacts in history that are missing. Many researchers believe that all those items and the billions of dollars worth of gold stolen from Europe have disappeared somewhere along with the same mysterious gold train. Now, the most valuable part of this treasure was the Amber Room. This room in Catherine Palace in Russia was made entirely of amber, gold leaf, and mirrors. During World War II, it was dismantled by German forces and sent back to Germany. It was last seen in the Russian city of Königsberg, today's Kalinin Garden. after which, this amber room also disappeared along with other artifacts. And all these clues together make the existence of this gold train believable. But was the structure found by treasure hunters Piotr Koper and Andres Richter beneath the mountains of WWII the Nazca gold train? This question was also important because apart from this gold train, another priceless mysterious train was also talked about: Hitler's secret personal armor train. This moving command center had conference rooms, anti-aircraft guns, and high-level military tech that Hitler himself used. Some historians say that this train was destroyed on Hitler's last orders, while others believe that this train was blasted in Austria during the Allied attack. But some researchers believe that some coaches of this train were sent to a secret location so that they could also be hidden. What was most surprising was that the structure seen beneath the WWII in radar scans from 2015 resembled an armored train from the Second World War era: rectangular shape, unusual metal density, and specific World War II dimensions. After this radar scan, the forests of WWII were crowded with tourists. The same image was playing over and over again on the TV screen. A train-like figure. People were sitting holding their breath. Is the fate of this city and the whole country going to change after finding that Nazca gold train? And then the excavation begins. And what they found there shook everybody up. So the year was 1945. Germany's collapse was now just a countdown away. On the Eastern Front, the Red Army, with unstoppable momentum, broke through the borders and reached the outskirts of Berlin. There was an atmosphere of panic in German cities. People from cities like Rocklo were running towards the station. But amidst this total chaos, a train quietly leaves Rocklo with no siren, no announcement, just silence. But this train was not going to any refugee camp or evacuation point, but on a different mission. His destination was the secret tunnels of Project Reese, hidden beneath the dense forest of the Owl Mountains. That massive underground complex, which was being built for Hitler's personal war command. These tunnels built underneath Caxias Castle are still a mystery because their exact layout has never been documented. Now, deep in the dense forests of WWII, there existed a narrow gauge rail ramp which was known only to the insiders. When the train climbed that ramp on a foggy night, everything seemed so plain that it did not seem like there was any panic mode. The driver takes the train into the tunnel. A few minutes later, a loud explosion is heard. The mountain shakes, dust rises from the sides, and some birds fly away in fear. And then there's that silent feeling that only follows a sealed secret. There was no witness. There were neither any local guards nor civilians. And taking advantage of this silence, the German army had hidden that train permanently. Those who believed that the train was loaded with gold, looted art, and confidential Nazi records believed that the entry was sealed by blasting it. Some researchers say that at that time, the internal map of the tunnel was also destroyed deliberately. But despite every carefully planned cover-up, some small details managed to leak out. The Allied forces also appear to have some indirect intelligence, possibly through captured officers or documents. That's why immediately after World War II, the Polish military began excavations around WWII. The hope was that perhaps the train would be found, or at least one of its compartments, but nothing concrete was found. So in 1950, local historian Tadeusz Słowik-Kobski made a shocking claim. He said that a former German officer had personally told him that a train was hidden near the Owl Mountains in the last days of the war. Gold art historical records was all there. Studios also identified a possible tunnel location based on their research. But no official excavation permit was issued at that time. The government was cautious. Neither public outreach was required nor political risk. The mechanics of Project Rise are a mystery in themselves. Work on this started in the year 1943, in which Rise means joint, which also justifies the name of this joint underground city-size network, which was planned to protect against Allied bombing. Extensive use of forced labor was made in its construction. Prisoners brought mainly from concentration camps. Prisoners from camps such as Gross Rosen and Bruckner Wold were sent to work in the tunnels. Every day they were under threat, cold and starvation, which took the lives of hundreds of workers here, of which no record was kept, nor was anyone properly acquitted. It was buried during the construction of these tunnels. Even today, many portions of Project Rise remain unexplored. Some pathways have collapsed, and some have been intentionally sealed. In 2010, researcher Christine Fullen, using satellite imagery and ground magnetometry, traced an old railway line that connected the suspected train site to the underground tunnels of Cassius Castle. That track had been officially abandoned, but its straight geometry is still visible in ground mapping, like an invisible line that connects the present to the past. In 2015, when the JPG scans of treasure hunters P.O. Copper and Andres Richter were made public, and people saw the rectangular metallic shape in them, the atmosphere across the country became very intense. The same question came to everyone's mind, whether this was the same gold train whose stories they had heard since their childhood. Everyone just wanted to know the truth. So in 2015, after the GPS scan went viral, Polish authorities entered the dense forest of WWII with heavy excavation equipment. The media also surrounded forest. Drone cameras were hovering overhead, and every reporter was on standby to capture the first moment of digging on the ground. It was not just an archaeological mission but had become a cultural obsession. Is the LostGoldTrain really hidden somewhere here? But as the excavation progressed, everything started going wrong. Scientists at the Polish Geological Institute declared, after detailed analysis, that what was seen in the GPR images was actually just a natural geological anomaly. Mineral deposits and rock layers had formed patterns that gave the illusion of a solid train-like object. Apart from this, there was also a lapse in technology here. A geologist from the Polish Mining Academy explained at a press conference that GPR is a valuable tool, but it is not perfect. GPR often creates false positives when the moisture content beneath the ground is high or the mineral composition is complex. In the case of WWII, treasure hunters like Piotr Koper and Andreas Richter fell prey to this very illusion. By the time this clarity came to the world, the story had gone viral. News agencies, users, documentaries, all made the discovery a cinematic event. But even after weeks of digging at the actual excavation site, no railroad tracks, no sealed walls, or anything resembling a gold train were found. Now ironically, Valver city reaped huge economic benefits from this nothing found discovery. According to one report, this speculation generated roughly $2 million in indirect revenue to the city's economy through tourism, local businesses, and global attention. Because during this execution, which lasted for weeks, all the hotels in the city were full. Gift shops started selling gold-themed mugs and shirts, and forest walks converted into a guided gold trail tour. But the real question was still alive. If there was no train, then how did this obsession start? The answer lay in the countless eyewitnesses and local legends who had been quietly existing for decades. Some people said that in the last weeks of World War II, they saw an unusual movement of drugs heading towards the Owl Mountains. Some retired miners claimed that they had dug out secret tunnels hidden somewhere in the mountains. But despite this, no proof of that train has been found till date. However, claims regarding its existence have been made every now and then. For example, in 2023, a local heritage NGO in WWII conducted new GPR scans and claimed to have detected strong magnetic anomalies beneath the southern flank of KCS Castle. He said that some solid metal structure might be hidden there. But this time, the Polish government refused to allow a public excavation on the grounds of environmental impact and security concerns. Apart from this, many private research groups also conducted independent surveys using LiDAR, thermal sensors, and AI-based imaging. But no conclusive result has come out yet. Some anomalies have been found, but interest is fading slowly. But some hardcore researchers still believe that the train is there. It just takes some time to find it in the right place or the right way. But even if that train is ever found in the future, its biggest value will neither be the gold hidden in it, nor the artwork. Its real value will be the memories hidden with that loot. Everything that was taken away from the innocent family during World War II. This train is not just a metallic box. It is a symbol of greed, war, and uncountable losses. Well friends, what do you think? Will we ever get this train in the future? Please write your opinion in the comment section below. If you liked the video and learned something new, then like this video and share it with your friends. If you are new to the channel, then besides subscribing to the channel, turn on the notification bell. And just like you are connected with me on YouTube,